Anyway, yes, putting all that to one side, hello and welcome back, I guess. How I got to get used to saying there, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Because this is now our second episode of Film Focus, a weekly movie review blog where we are talking about two more films than we did yesterday. Two different films, two DVDs we rented out this week. I'm Fred Black.
And I'm Anthony Squire.
And what are we doing this weekend?
This week we're looking at The Guard and Troll Hunter.
And as well as that, we're looking at a load of trailers from, well, the most anticipated trailers for this year. In terms
anticipated, I take that with
a large pinch of salt.
Yeah.
They're mainly like anticipated trailers in the fact that they will be successful at the box office, mainly. And some of them are just our personal fancies as well, like stuff we think, we're definitely going to go and see that.
There are a couple of good trailers, but can we just tell them about Star Wars?
No, we need to wait. We do this in a structured way, don't we? I mean, my script is in a slightly unstructured way, but we're doing the show in a structured manner. So we start with the review, and we will toast to the first review. We're going to toast to the first review, and you need to finish that because I've already had one already. I had one during the first episode, as you might have seen yesterday, and we're filming this one after the other with like a half-hour break of watching Catwoman in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're filming this like Saturday daytime, and I don't know if anyone else has managed to catch the epic genius of Catwoman on, was it Channel 4 or something?
Channel 3.
Channel 3, yeah, ITV.
If you're desperate to watch something, don't get that desperate.
Yeah, don't get
the channel.
There is never that desperate. There is never that desperate.
I mean, Halle Berry being Halle Berry. Yeah, moving on.
Yes, but the first one we got to talk about this week is The Guard, which is a fairly interesting comedy, and it's got tons and tons of good reviews, like one of our other reviews we did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
See, you won't know about this. Guys watching this won't know about this, but we did a few like trial episodes. The first one was a complete bust, and we didn't put it on YouTube because it just took too long to render and
too much stuttering, too much umming and erring.
Yeah, pretty much. And the second one we put on YouTube as an unlisted video, and we talked about a film called Bridesmaids. If you have been living under a rock, you won't have heard of. But otherwise,
guys with girlfriends, I feel sorry for you.
We don't, but we don't have girlfriends, but we watched it anyway. It just happened to be.
So
like
one for the team.
What team? There is no team.
Putting that to one side. I mean, Bridesmaids, that was just, oh god, it was awful.
But
the jokes were so bad.
Yes, it was a terrible film. But
you'd already seen the you already seen the jokes in the trailer for it.
Which I'm trying to move on with the show here, and you're just hung up on the film.
Bad. But
let your anger go. You could just Hulk out at the film. It's like, Hulk smash Bridesmaids.
So do yourself a favour, and girls, you can watch better films than that. You don't have to watch Bridesmaids.
Watch anything else other than Bridesmaids and Twilight. Don't watch Twilight.
You keep going on about Twilight.
I do keep going on about Twilight because it's an epically shit film series.
Why do you watch them then? For Stone Cold.
I don't know. But anyway, The Guard is another one of those films, like Bridesmaids, that's got terrific reviews across the board. On the DVD, there were like 5-star reviews plastered all over it. I wouldn't go so far as to say it was a 5-star review. I'd go so far to say it was a good film, though.
It was a good film, but I found there's just way too much swearing. I mean, F this, F that, and
now that doesn't bother me.
Some films you can get away with it, but this one, it's just...
You don't think it did?
No, it's just like effing this, effing that, and you just sitting there thinking, why are you swearing so much? If you did that in real life, you'd probably get smacked in the face.
And to be honest, Brendan Gleeson, his character, does deserve a few kind of smacks in the face at times during the film.
What's that bit where he says to the FBI agent something pretty racist? That made me cringe.
They're having the briefing right, like near the start when Don Cheadle, because the whole plot of the film is like Brendan Gleeson is this like Irish cop, which called a guard or something, Irish police officer in a really remote town like Cornelis or something, whatever. I can't remember the name of the town. But it's really remote, and isolated part of Ireland, and Don Cheadle arrives as his FBI officer, and they try to track down some drug smugglers, worth £500 million worth of cocaine in it or something, and it's essentially just like a kind of buddy movie, except it's not. It's a buddy movie kind of combined with a crime heist movie, isn't it?
Yeah. To begin with, there's loads of swearing in it, like F this, F that, and then after a while...
You were really hung up on that, aren't you?
You do sort of... The film was a good story. I don't think it deserves 5 stars. I'd have given it 3.
If we were doing a star system, we're doing it out of 10, but, see, I do not mind the swearing as much as you did, because I have seen In Bruges. And if anyone else has seen In Bruges, it's got Brendan Gleeson in it again. Yeah. It's got Colin Farrell, and it's got...
Someone set in Belgium?
Yes, it's in Belgium. That's the one. He does this Colin Farrell does this little speech at the start of the film, and he's like, it's like, well, if I never knew where I was going to end up in life, I didn't think it would be in Bruges. I don't even know where fucking Bruges is. And then he says there's a long pause, and then he just goes, "It's in Belgium." And that's how I had to think of that whole speech in my head before I answered that question. But yeah,
it was good. I mean, after a while, the swearing does. You just become oblivious to it. The story's it's a good story.
You can't omit them from the script.
The characters are good.
Especially, I quite found Mark Strong as the villain, the bull villain, who kind of has a bit of a kind of funny turn. He's like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this anymore.
I think he was great. He was in what's that film called?
Well, he's in
Kick-Ass.
Is he? Yes, he's in. Yes, he is in Kick-Ass as the bad guy, and he's also in Sherlock Holmes as the bad guy.
He is a really good bad guy.
Yeah, he is. It seemed bad to keep typecasting people, but if you play a bad guy role that well, and even coming off as like some Cockney drug dealer,
I love this sort of lack of emotion. Just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like when you kind of first see them and they're having that discussion with the police officer. He's just the other two. It's like 3 bad guys that do this drug smuggling thing, and the other 2 go off to confront this police officer, and he's just stood by the car going, "Can we get a fucking move on?" And all the while they're having this kind of heated debate with him. He's just standing by the car having a cigarette, just going, "Yeah, can we just get this over with already?" He's really, really irate about it, and it was just really funny to watch. And the parts with Brendan Gleeson in it as well were also pretty funny. If you took out the swearing, I mean, if you took out the swearing, they'd be even funnier. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's just I'm not against swearing. I'm not some activist.
I mean, we just watched The Devil's Double. We just reviewed The Devil's Double in the last episode, and that has some pretty horrific swear words.
It does, but at the same time, it sort of fits.
It fits with the character. It fits with the guy that's going with it, but.
This one was just...
I can see your point.
Though I'm not on a moral message crusade here.
Don't swear, kids. It's bad for you. In fact, you should just not listen to me then, because I've sworn a few times this episode already, so I'll just exit now, folks.
But you know what I mean? It's just... I want to meet these scriptwriters, and you average everyday chat. How many times do you say, fuck this or fuck that? You don't. Yet you go watch... You see similar scenes in films... And it's like, F this, F that, your mother, effing whatever. And it's just like, why? You don't need to. It's only for effect.
It's because it's considered cool.
But it's not cool.
Yeah, it's considered cool.
Please, I'm not some religious activist.
Well, I don't know religious activists have it.
Well,
I know religious people who've come out with some pretty diabolical swear words, but it's not that.
I'm not on a moral crusade, don't worry. I'm not going to be marching down the streets like, stop now!
Stop the swearing!
I do swear myself, but
not to an extent as in this film.
Not like this film. I mean, even the school kid was like, yeah, effing this, effing that. I'm just like, whoa.
This guy's like 12 or something, isn't he? But besides the swearing, we're getting to a bit sidetracked with the swearing, aren't we?
Putting all the swearing to one side, it was a good story, a good pace. The film did flow pretty well. The ending was good. Overall, I'd say it's worth watching.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I think because it's a very similar tone to In Bruges, and I know you haven't seen that, but for me, it was a very similar tone to that. It was a fairly quiet set film, fairly quiet, just not much happened throughout it. But then when something did happen, it was all kind of very quick, very fast, and it was more about the atmosphere and the kind of interaction between the characters, which was all very good. It all played out very well.
Yeah.
I was just not in a rush to kind of see it again. I watched it and like the end credits were rolling up, and I was just like, okay, I'll just take the DVD off. Because put this into context, usually I skip to the end of the credits, because there are so many films now that put stuff after the credits or in the credits that I usually fast forward the credits and see if there's anything afterwards. I didn't with this one. I just went, eject. I was kind of sad about it, because it's a good film, but it wasn't just like, it wasn't one of these like amazing films that you want to watch again and again and again.
No, I'd say it's your average Saturday night film.
A very dark comedy, but
it's a dark comedy. I mean,
it's not. It's nothing.
It's nothing amazing about it. I mean, what score did you give it?
What score did I give it? That's a very good question, Anthony. I'm glad you asked.
And I'm glad I asked.
I guess. Excuse us while we just play our little games here. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And what did you give it? I'm very interested to know.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now that's a lie. I know you gave it a 6 to begin with.
Originally I gave it a 6.
6,
but
and you've taken it down a notch.
I've taken it down to 5 because...
From about an hour and a half ago you were giving it a 6, and you've taken it down a notch then.
The more I think about it, I'd give it a 5. It's an average film. It's sort of your late night Channel 3 film, isn't it? On a Saturday.
I suppose so, yeah. One of those ones that's slightly outside the norm. I mean,
I'll give it. I'll compromise. I'll give it 5.5 out of 10.
How many times are you going to change the score? You're going to go, no. I'll give it 5.25. Oh no! Wait, I'll give it 5 2/5.
5.
Okay, 5. He's going to give it a 5, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. So yeah,
it's worth watching once.
Every film. Well,
no,
I would say
no. Not every film is worth watching once.
I believe we're about to come on to some of those films as we move.
What was on the TV a few minutes ago?
What was but we were sat there watching it!
Yeah, but we didn't have the... this is going to sound corny. We didn't have the courage to make
We didn't have the courage to... We watched, I think about 20 minutes of it, didn't we?
About 22 minutes, yeah.
22... Well, where is this timer you keep using? I'm serious. You seem to come up with really specific timings.
Well,
we were watching it for 22 minutes and 30 seconds.
I can't do seconds, but the time on the TV.
Yeah, I suppose so. Damn it, you and your answers. So... But yes, some of these bad films we're going to talk about we come on to quite neatly with our trailer section. So yeah, Guard is all done with. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for me, 5 out of 10 for you.
Yeah.
And now our trailers we go on to. I think we're going to go straight to the creme de la creme of shitness with Star Wars Episode 1 3D. So this is like the most anticipated films of 2012, which is what we labelled it as. But in terms of it was a kind of list made of the films that we know are going to be big this year and the films that we're excited to see this year. A lot of the films we did last episode were films we're really excited to see. We had Dark Knight Rises, Avengers, and The Hobbit, and they were, Hobbit we weren't so excited about. The Expendables 2. Little drum roll, please, Anthony.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Sorry, moving on.
Enough of the Chuck Norris. But this episode is more of the darker side of
everything, really. I mean,
it's more of the films that we know are going to do really well, but we're probably not going to enjoy them.
I mean, everyone remembers Star Wars Episode 1 is one of the most hyped up films I can think of. I remember working in Budgeons at the time, and all the Coca-Cola bottles had character profiles down them. And then Star Wars Episode 1, they copied... Jar Jar Binks, need I say more?
Yeah, you have Jar Jar Binks and the entire Gungan, I think that's what they're called, Gungans, which is it sounds like a chewing gum or something.
It's just so bad. I mean, the Darth Maul lightsaber scene, obviously, that was brilliant.
Yeah, see, I had this, we had this theory for a long time, and then I told it to you, that if they kept Darth Maul in it for Episode 2 and 3, they would have been a lot better films, because you would have had him in it fighting people. And the double lightsaber, it's a fairly simple
that was
It's
brilliant.
a fairly simple tweak, though, to the whole lightsaber, and I'm sure it's been done in like fan fiction and all these different computer games.
They did another Star Wars animated film.
Oh, the
where,
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, where
That's a TV show, though, isn't it? I thought that was a TV show, the Clone Wars.
Didn't they release something at the cinema before it went on TV?
Maybe.
I do remember seeing.
I don't remember.
Obviously, Darth Maul was killed off, but someone else was using a double lightsaber.
And it just makes it just brings the whole. Now, I hate to get really technical, but it brings the whole like choreography of it.
Mm.
It just adds a whole new element, and you can mess around with it in so many different ways because there are only so many things you can do with two swords. Essentially, is what they are. You can go bang, 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 and then do backflips and all that sort of stuff, and that's about it. And after a while, lightsaber fights just get a bit. You just nod off watching them a little bit.
I mean, how many times can you re-release a Star Wars film?
And that's the old. That's also the other point.
George Lucas, if you're going to make parts 7, 8, and 9, just make them.
Yeah,
Don't keep releasing. I mean, it's even possible to get the original Star Wars episodes. No, it's just.
And the fact is, he keeps tweaking them as well, doesn't he? Because he's releasing. He did the Blu-ray copies like a couple of months ago. He released them all on Blu-ray, and he tweaked what was actually in the films. Like he added. Because the scene at the end of Return of the Jedi where they're all sitting around the campfire and the ghosts of like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader appear.
And Yoda as well.
And he tweaked it. I remember he tweaked it a while back so that it wasn't Darth Vader, like the original actor that played Darth Vader. It was Hayden Christensen. Yeah. And it's stupid little tweaks like that he's made again to the Blu-ray. I don't exactly know what he's done, but he's done it again. So I can't help thinking that when he releases them in 3D, he'll tweak something again and just shove it out there and think, yeah, I'm George Lucas, fuck off.
I mean,
but it's exactly what he's doing, though, isn't it?
The funny thing is that the best Star Wars episodes were the ones he didn't direct. Was it Empire Strikes Back? I think it was Irving Kershner.
Oh, Empire Strikes Back is a fantastic film.
Return of the Jedi was it Richard Marquand?
I don't know who the director was for that, but that's not such a...
It's not. I know George Lucas copied his style in Phantom Menace. The lightsaber scene, battle on the planet, and the space scene. Oh, it's blowing up. We didn't shoot it. And it's just like,
yes, you did.
It's just like George Lucas. You can afford some decent actors.
He afforded Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor. Not exactly like the pinnacle of acting talent there.
Ewan McGregor's alright as an actor.
Yes, but if
he's not an amazing actor, but well,
I suppose for a Star Wars film, you're not exactly going to get Oscar winners, are you?
Because I know Alec Guinness at Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it was
actually you got Alec Guinness in the Star Wars films.
Well, no, but I mean, I think Alec Guinness. It was one of his most hated roles.
Did he not like doing it?
No, because I think it's what he's. Obviously, the Star Wars fans are going to remember him just for that, and he's actually done a lot of other films.
And he's very good in a lot of other films. I was watching the original version of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which has just been released in cinemas. It's actually on DVD very soon. I think out now, pretty much. But Alec Guinness plays George Smiley in it, and he's fantastic. I was watching it and goes, I should be going to bed now, but no, more Alec Guinness. But yes, I think we've talked about that a little bit too much. The Star Wars just...
To be honest, if you've seen it before, don't bother by it. Don't give George Lucas
and to be honest,
satisfaction.
3D technology is a crock of shit anyway. So,
I mean, with 3D TV, I think you actually have to sit directly in front of it. If you
pretty much, probably the same with cinemas. Actually, I think you probably have to sit like dead on.
Cinema's funny. You put your 3D glasses on over the glasses you're already wearing.
Well, yeah, for you, for me, it's just not really that bothersome. I mean, they're just so ridiculously large, the glasses, that it just feels uncomfortable to wear them, and I can't imagine what it's like for you. But
it's simple, but it's just they don't really take into account people who already wear glasses. But we're going off on a tangent now. What's the next trailer?
What is the next trailer? We're not getting into better territory here. It's Titanic 3D.
Yeah.
Should we just move on right now? Should we just go?
Everyone knows what happens in Titanic, and if you don't,
even if you haven't seen it, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, one Christmas. My mum.
And we end this episode. I mean, failure. You've seen Titanic.
I mean, obviously,
I haven't seen
what's going to happen in it. Obviously, the ship sinks, but
It sinks in, and from what we gathered from the trailer, it sinks in pretty spectacular fashion.
But it's just 3D. I mean,
but to be honest, if James Cameron was going to do another film, 3D, he does know how to do 3D. I mean, Avatar was pretty
Avatar was an
good.
awful film. It was 3D wise, it was good, but all they did was take the flying Terminators from Terminator, the weapons from Aliens, and did you ever watch Captain Planet?
No, never watched Captain
It had
Planet.
that sort of Captain Planet feel to it, a 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Earth, fire, wind, water. What?
I have no idea what that means. I'm just going along for the ride here. So yeah, Titanic 3D. We were also reminded in the trailer that we saw on Apple.com of the god-awful Celine Dion song that came with it, and that plays throughout at least half of the trailer.
Yes,
and
yes, it does. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio.
It made me want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
it was so awful.
Leonardo DiCaprio's best role for me was his was it Critters 3? You got to watch it. The hedgehogs that come down from space.
See, I've seen the first two Critters films because you lent me the box set of this. This is like a long-standing thing we've got with B movies, and you lent me the box set of Critters films, and I've yet to watch the third one. And it's Leonardo DiCaprio's first film is Critters 3.
Film.
I don't get how it can be because we'll just leave it.
Let's move on to another trailer.
Let's move on to another Ice Age 4. Ice Age. Continental Drift. Yes.
The trailer looked good. It didn't give anything away. It was just
Scrat.
Scrat.
Scrat, the little squirrel kind of guy, and it was just another one of his adventures, is what we saw. But god damn it, was it funny? It was hilarious, and I love those films. I own the box set of all three of them at home on DVD.
What's his name? Rudy.
Rudy, and the dinosaur one was very fun. Combines two of my favourite things: dinosaurs and Ice Age. You can't go wrong with that, really. But just in terms of sheer kind of family fun,
it's just like it looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
We can't go and see that, but the other ones were good. So I don't see any reason why this one.
And they leave it long enough between each of the films that you would have thought they've left it long enough that they know what they're doing. They've planned it out long enough to think, oh yeah, we can release another Ice Age, and we have a good enough story for it. We have good enough.
Took time to think it over.
Yeah, it took time to think it over, and definitely the creativeness that they showed in the Scrat sequence that we saw.
Yeah.
The creativeness they showed in that definitely led me to believe that they've got enough just enough kind of creative power behind it to get another story out there. Because I can't get over that. That was just so funny. It was incredibly funny, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I might even go see it in the cinema.
Might be.
I'm taking him to go see it in the cinema then. We're just going there. We're just going, that's it.
We're going to see the next film at the cinema. G.I. Joe, Retaliation.
Well, okay then. I'm actually not too bothered about this film, but you love it.
Come on, the 90s cartoon, or sorry, late 80s. Was it late 80s cartoon, G.I. Joe. In the
Never
UK,
Never saw it.
In the UK, it was called Action Force. You had Cobra Commander, Serpentor.
Oh, they didn't actually call it G.I. Joe over here.
Yeah, for some reason it was called Action Force. I never understood why. But
wow, that sort of shit was going on even back then. I'm surprised. But G.I. Joe 2.
The first one was good. It's like it stayed true enough to the cartoon and comics, but did new stuff as well.
And for people like me who haven't actually seen the comics, it was just like Final Destination, like we talked about last episode. You can switch off your brain and just have a laugh with it. You can switch off your brain. It's mindless fun. It's not particularly groundbreaking, but it's
not groundbreaking. It's just your average.
It's just your average action film.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe 2 just takes it to a conspiracy theory scale, essentially. Yeah, you got the president bit. You got Zartan, the evil villain from the last film, as the president now.
Mm.
Evil villain. Is there such thing as a good villain? I don't know why I said evil villain. I'm noticing my own mistakes.
I don't know. You've got me thinking of Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, and I love that. I love the ending of
I'm
the
not
film.
responsible for this man's movie choice.
I love the ending of that film where everyone's on a boat and even the bad person just turns to the camera and says, "And I've learned something too."
And he turns good? Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. But yes, G.I. Joe 2, you'll go. I think you'll probably be a cinema viewer for this one. I will probably wait for it on DVD, or maybe even till it's come out on television. Actually, no. When it comes out on DVD, we'll review it for this show, and you'll make a beeline for it in the store. And the last trailer we're going to talk about, Warhorse,
which is basically. Do you remember a TV show called Black Beauty?
See, I know of Black Beauty, and I never saw it because it was about a horse.
I remember when I was with when I was around my grandmother's place. Younger, obviously, and she'd be watching that Black Beauty. It's just about a horse, but the film Warhorse is basically you've got a war going on in the background, guns, explosions, and then you've got a horse doing a slow motion run across the field. It's
not made specific if it's World War One or World War Two. I wasn't made clear of that. I think it's World War One, but essentially it is the magical bond between man and horse, and somehow this horse leads. It gives courage and hope to the troops, or whatever. It just looked so horrifically bad, and this is Steven Spielberg as well.
That doesn't surprise me.
It does. This guy made Jurassic Park, one of my favourite films of all time.
But he also made The Lost World, where he lost interest in it. You can tell that when you watch it.
But it has very good bits in it. I got the Blu-ray trilogy for Christmas of the Jurassic Park films. I was watching Jurassic Park 2 the other day, and there are some very, very good bits to it. I don't think it's a particularly bad film, but it's definitely not the best one.
It wasn't as good as it could have been. The first one was good.
And the third one, yeah. But Warhorse just looks...
Warhorse, basically, I can just see...
I'm just really not looking forward to this film at all.
There'll be a big battle going on, and some guy will just come doing a slow motion running and riding a horse, and he'll save the day.
I'm not even sure it'll be slow motion. From the trailer, there weren't many slow motion bits in it. It was just a horse.
Oh, there were.
Were there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I must be watching a different
trailer.
trailer.
Just blanked it out.
I must have just blanked it out. It was so terrible, I must wipe it from my mind. So that pretty much sums up what we thought of the trailers. The most anticipated trailers, or films of this year, I think. Yeah, they should be all good. Well, most of them will be. This episode, we've definitely had more misses than hits.
Yeah.
But we go on to our final film now, Troll Hunter. Are you going to change your score on this one as well? Because I'm not changing my one.
I'm not changing my score.
Are you not you changed your score with The Guard. But yeah, Troll Hunter is a Norwegian language film that follows a group of 3 students who
investigate a series of bear killings.
Yeah, they investigate. Yeah,
and they follow a mysterious hunter, and in the end, he shows them that he's actually killing trolls.
He's not killing them, is he? Though he's hunting them. But
he's hunting them.
Well, he's hunting them to kind of study them, as it were, and because it reveals throughout the film that he doesn't actually want to kill them. They're just kind of hiding them from society, and once in a while, like one will break out of its containment. It's usual migration patterns or everything that usually kept out the way of humans, and he has to go and take care of it.
Yeah.
But it
was a really good fit. It's handheld camera style.
Yeah, if you don't like handheld films, really definitely stay away from this one, because this one doesn't make sure that you can see everything.
I thought it was good. It wasn't... I mean, everyone remembers the Blair Witch Project. That was awful in terms of handheld camera.
Apart from the last sequence. The last sequence in the house was very good.
It
couldn't make up for a shitty film, no.
I mean, Cloverfield was good. That was handheld camera.
Yes, that was good. I do like it.
This one... It was a good film. It was... It flowed really well, good pace, good atmosphere. I would recommend watching it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I mean, we had a kind of meet up after we watched the first 2 films and swapped them over, and I went back and watched this, and I admit I probably stayed up a little longer, because I have work like all weekdays, you know.
Yeah.
It's like 6:30 a.m. starts every day for me at work.
6:30.
6:30 or 7 o'clock if I'm lucky. I have to sit for work every day, so I was probably up till about 12:30, 1 in the morning watching this one, and good God, I enjoyed every minute of it though.
Yeah.
It was definitely, and the one thing that struck me about this one, it was definitely shot as if it was a student-made film.
Oh yeah.
There was no kind of Hollywood touches on it.
There's no corny background music. No. someone flies in and saves the day.
No, but it wasn't that. Just the way it was shot and edited, it was all very random.
Yeah.
And it was all very,
It was a proper independent film.
Yeah, there wasn't any time to, like, take a shot up at the troll, and they didn't care if they framed it right.
No.
As you would if you were in the wild just shooting a random film. As that's what they are doing in the film. They're shooting just random footage, so they're not taking the time to frame things properly, and it does feel like it's a proper student film.
Yeah.
And that's what made it more real for me. It's a film about fucking trolls, which we won't go into Troll 2.
Oh, Troll 2.
Nilbog and the whole thing, but it's the best film about trolls you'll probably ever see.
Yeah. But if you ever do get a chance, I would recommend Troll 2.
No. Can we just not listen to this guy for the rest of the episode, or in fact any episodes that are to come?
Even though it's called Troll 2, there are no trolls in the film.
No, they're called goblins, aren't they?
Yeah, and
yeah, it is like Troll 2 is one of the worst films ever made. It's like universally regarded as
the guy in the flower pot, and like they're eating her, then they're going to eat me. Oh my god! But yeah, sorry, forget Troll 2.
Yeah, Troll Hunter.
Troll Hunter is a genuinely good film.
I would go so far as to say it's probably the best film I've seen in a long time. I would say it's even better than Captain America. Yeah, see, you gave that a solid... And that was one of our other kind of preview films we did before we started uploading them like this. We did Captain America as one of our focus episodes, and you gave it like 10 out of 10 review.
Yeah, but Captain America was spot on.
It was a very good film. But in terms of just, if you're comparing all these films to each other, which you probably shouldn't do, but we're doing it right now anyway, Troll Hunter is probably the best film I've seen in a long time. And I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10.
What did I put?
What did you put? Are you going to change it? Where is it? I can't see it.
I was a bit harsh on it. I'll give it 7.
Hey, you changed your score again. I knew you would.
It's such a tough thing to do. But
both films this episode, you changed your score. I love it.
Well, you've got to be nice.
You've got to be... Well, with some films you don't have to... We've completely trashed Star Wars and Titanic this episode. But, yeah.
Titanic. Jesus. I mean... 3D version, like, oh, for God's sake.
I do get where you're going with this, but Troll Hunter, very, very good. I was seriously impressed by it. It felt good. It was scary as well.
It was good. It had atmosphere.
Yeah, it had atmosphere. Definitely for films like, for handheld films, this was probably the scariest I've seen, apart from Record, which is that Spanish horror flick I keep banging on about.
I haven't seen that.
No, I will lend it to you. I've got it on DVD at home, and I'll lend it to you. But Record is probably the scariest horror film I've ever seen, or one of the scariest horror films I've ever seen. Definitely the scariest handheld film I've ever seen.
What is it?
Yeah, handheld camera like.
No, I mean, does it switch between scenes pretty quick?
Well,
or does it linger?
It kind of lingers a little bit, but it lingers for all the right reasons, and it's just. You've got if you haven't seen Record, which is a Spanish horror film, you gotta go see it. You've got to see it now. Rent it on DVD like immediately, and I'll lend it to you as soon as I can.
Okay.
But yes, definitely worth watching. Troll Hunter definitely is next to that. Troll Hunter is the scariest and probably the most.
I wouldn't say it was scary. It was.
I don't know
It wasn't. I didn't find it scary. It was more really good atmosphere, and the whole pace of the film was good. I didn't get bored at any point. I don't really know how to describe it. It wasn't a thriller.
Yeah, and that's probably a good staple of it. You can't really describe it.
Yeah, so I can't just say like, oh yeah, it was a mixture of thriller, horror.
Yeah, but it was definitely very good, and that ends our review for Troll Hunter. So 9 out of 10 from me.
7.
A changed score of 7 from you, and that brings about the end of our little.
The end of the show.
A little adventure in the end of the show, yes. So,
thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching very much. We will be back next week, Sunday and Monday, which is what we've agreed to do because these episodes take a ton of time to render.
Yeah.
So it's just the setup we've got. It takes ages to process these things and upload them to YouTube. So we will see you next Sunday for another round of films. We're about to go get them now, actually, I think. So
in about 9-10 minutes.
9-10 minutes. He's very specific with your timings.
Well, I find if someone says 10 minutes, it's just... You might forget it if you're busy doing something, but if someone says like 8.5 minutes, it sticks in your head. But yeah, take care.
Yeah,
and
we'll see you next week. Yeah, bye guys. See you later.
Bye.